Hi everyone, welcome back to Live with Tish. My name is Tisha Masumdar and I am an engineering student hoping to break into product. So, this is basically where I or rather document my journey about going from an engineering student to becoming a product manager. Hopefully next year. So, let's get going. All right, everyone. So, in the last week, we discussed about what a PRD is. To all those of you who do not know what a PRD is basically a product requirements document, and it is basically what every product manager uses to document what a product is all about. I have discussed it at length in the last video. I'll link it somewhere around here. And you guys can go check it out. So, in this week, we are going to actually implement how to write a PRD. So, we will be discussing about one product which I thought of for a while ago and decided that okay, since I have to start thinking like a product manager now, the best course of action is to start by creating a PRD. So that's what we are going to do. Let's hop onto my laptop so that we can start writing our very first PRD together. Let's go. Alright, so in my last video, I had shared this PRD template with all of you. So, how we are going to go about it is first we're going to make a copy of it, and I'll just make a copy of it. What is this? Rename this whatever the product's name is going to be, and this would be. So that's the first thing which we are going to do. This is make a copy of the template so that we already have a fixed structure about how everything is going to look like. So how exactly did I think about Quiz Rabbit? Now first, this is something which I had faced for the last 3 years, honestly. I would give a quiz at university. The teachers would grade that quiz. And then later on, I would have to check the internal markings. Like when we get a report, we also get the internal mark section available to us. And it has happened sometimes that the numbers do not match the marks which I received in the quiz. And I'd have to go to the teachers and be like, Mom, why? Why did you cut my grades over here? And she'd be like, sorry, bacha, I had to manually input it and I may have, it there would be a problem or something. I'm like, Mom, can you please correct this, please? Because yes, I'm that kid who is like behind that one mark. Because hey, I study. Alright, so because I study, I expect to get like at least the amount of marks for which I've studied. So I am that girl. And so this is why. So I talked to my teachers like during this summer vacation. I was actually like, Mom, why is it like you take the quiz on call Paul? You grade the quiz on call Paul. Why is it not automatically getting into the internal marks, which is in fact on call Paul? And she was like, Beta, I don't know. I tried doing it. It messes up sometimes. It does not function. A lot of things happen. And then I asked her that, Mom, is there any other way that, it could be a bit more automatic? And she was like, well, we can import an Excel sheet over there and see if that works out, but we're not really sure. And I was like, that's an interesting idea. So that is where Quiz Rabbit was generated. So the idea is that this web app, would sort of help take quizzes from the students taken by the teachers. They would be automatically graded, and then the teachers can actually export it as an Excel sheet and then just put that on CallPaul. I'm not really sure yet if CallPaul has an API which I could access, but as for an MVP, that's a minimum viable product, I think even having the teachers have the access to export the results as Excel file, specifically tuned to call Paul, I think it's going to help a lot. So that's my idea. So basically, that is what this Quiz Rabbit is all about. So if I talk about the title or initiative, it is of course Quiz Rabbit and a fun web app, kind of like that. So today's date is 29 June 2025. So the product point of contact is me, yours truly. Let me call the product point of contact Tisha. The design point of contact be Tish. You know, that she sounds much more designing kind of person. And for tech, it would be complete Tisha Mazumdar. She's the technical side. She would be like, yeah, let's code it or wipe code it or no code it. Let's see what I do. And for marketing, like, let's put a TBD. I'll most probably reach out to a few friends of mine and be like, please, guys, share, spread the word about this thing. So let's see. That's to be decided. Now, the objective. Why is this product being created? So basically, it is being created not for the business. It's rather being created for the users. So the objective would be to help teachers take quizzes easily and have them graded automatically. Also provides the functionality to download or export it as an Excel file compatible with Callball. So Callball is basically the app which my university uses for grading and giving assignments and everything else. So that's basically the objective behind, like the primary objective, I would say, on why the product is being, made. However, like, if I am also going with a secondary objective, it would be to have a better interface for taking the quiz. So right now it's very monotonous, like there's nothing fun about taking quizzes, and I just don't understand why, as we grow older, taking these quizzes and exams become so much more stressful and serious business. Like, I remember when I was a child, like when I would be in second grade or third grade, whenever we would have quizzes, our teachers would get so creative with how they are asking questions, so that we all were actually very interested in learning and actually, participating. But now it's just like, yeah, we've given you the quiz, just solve it or don't. We don't really care. And I'm like, why? So I want to have like a better interface, maybe basically a better design for it, a better UI for it, and see how it is. Maybe even make it gamified. In the PRD, we will not use the word maybe. So it would be to have a better interface for taking the quiz and add gamification to make it more exciting for people to take. So now, how do we measure the success? What are our KPIs? I say R as if there's more than one person who's making this thing, but let's continue. All right. So how will I measure success? What was my goal? What is my success metrics? What are some guardrails which I do not want to mess up? So if I talk about my associated OKR and goals, they would be, I want to export the results in an Excel sheet compatible with the Callball. So that's one of my goals. Now, also, a lot of times Callball just shuts down the quiz taking time, which I think is great. But sometimes there's an issue, where the students, they don't get to know that there is a quiz happening till the deadline has passed. And it happens as college students, it happens so many times that deadlines pass and we just get to know right then. So I think what one more goal could be to have a completion rate of the quizzes be greater than 90%. I know it's shooting high, but like it'll be great if we have 90% or more students actually complete the quizzes and at least submit them. For me, so success metric would be complete integration with call. That would be a success metric for me. It would also be, what else would be a success metric for me? I think that's like most of it. No, guardrail or do not disturb metrics. So do not disturb DND metrics is basically a way for me to remember that even if I'm adding a feature or like I'm making a new product, there are certain things which I do not want to touch. For example, one of the guardrails could be not able to edit the questions when students start taking the quiz. That's like one of the guardrails, one of the do not disturb metrics, which we have to keep in mind. The teachers cannot just randomly change the questions as the students or after the students have taken the quiz. So that's one of the guardrail. For students, it would be not be able to copy the questions. We're gonna try to keep the use of AI for cheating to a minimum. So that's one of the guardrails. If anything comes up, so as I said, PRDs are kind of like, it's a living document. It goes through edits, versions, and this is why I did not write version. And this is why it's like v1.0. No, it's the first version. All right. Now users, who will be using these products? People like me, people like teachers. I hope teachers are people. Anyways, so personas, let me create two personas right now. So let's say Dr. Murthy, a 60-year-old professor who does not want to waste time on manually grading and then manually entering the marks of his students in the university database. He is looking for a simple situation or app which will help him automate these tasks. Now that's a professor. What about a student? So let's say Ritik. Let's keep it going, right? Rena, 21-year-old girl, 21-year-old student who does not enjoy giving quizzes and would rather play video games. They are bored of using the same boring and glitchy interface to give quizzes, which always logs them out before they could submit it. So those are my two personas, like one of the teacher and one is a student, and those are some of the problems which people face in their day-to-day life. So these are the personas. Now the problems which we are solving. First problem which we are solving is that we will remove the task of manually entering the marks of students, thus making an error less than 5% in less than 5%. The ideal situation is 0%, but we would have to look at the edge cases and understand what is happening and what's not. I think that could also be one of our success metrics, having less than 5%. We just did this. Less than 5% error in entering marks for students. Next, the problem which we are solving is that we're going to make taking quizzes a bit more fun. So remove the boredom and glitches in the current system and instead make it more interactive and gamify the whole situation. Kind of like that. Now, justification of the problem. How do we know these problems exist? Because A, yours truly has experienced it for the past 3 years, and not just me, about 70 to 80% of the students in my class have experienced it, talking it to more of the students in other departments, talking to more of my lab mates. This is a problem which a lot of us face. So how do we know these problems exist? Personal experience. Talked to about 10, not even 10, maybe like about 20 students regarding this issue. And I don't want to say interviewed, again, talked to about 10 professors who faced this issue as well. So how will we solve this problem? So first, what is the solution which I came up with? Enter quiz rabbit. Teachers won't have to manually create your quizzes and be able to export it as an Excel file to be compliant with the current system. That's called for. So that's my current solution and how it solves the problem. It will also have a leaderboard that provides e-badges maybe to people who complete quizzes and score certain points. Kind of like that. So alternative solutions which could have been considered, and the reason I did not go ahead with them, I'll write about that. So first thing, of course, we could have used Google Forms, but it does not have time limitation. Next, we also could have used Kazoo, I think it's called, but it does not allow you to export the result in an Excel file as demanded by call. There was also an idea about taking it via pen and paper, but again, it does not solve the problem of engineering grades manually. So those were our solutions, and through the matter of prioritization, Quiz Rabbit is definitely like the first primary solution which we're going with. Now the product flow. So this is basically what the details of the feature and the product is going to look like. This will include the customer journey, wireframes and flow diagrams, user stories, acceptance criteria, edge cases, event tracking sheet. Alright, editing Tisha here. I'm so sorry for cutting the video short, but I just realized it has been like over 15 minutes for this video, and it just feels like no one has that much patience to go through the whole thing. And instead of us just cramming everything into one video, I've decided to put it as a 2-part video for completion of the PRD. I know, I hate being that person who puts everything into parts, but I think it'll be best for everyone's sake that we put it in 2 parts. So I'll be creating a complete different playlist which will be called, I think, Quiz Rabbit itself, where we will go through we are already going through the PRD, we will go through wireframing, the coding, the technical document, everything else. So we'll look into it, we'll see how it goes, and I'm really sorry for cutting it short, but the video is getting long. So because it'll be a 2-part video, that's why you will not have to wait for next Sunday for it to be uploaded, but it'll be uploaded on Wednesday or Tuesday maybe. So let's see how it goes, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.